When a taxpayer owes a large sum of money to the IRS, there are options that are available. The IRS Offer and Compromise is a popular program that many have heard about that lets taxpayers settle tax debt for pennies on the dollar. Now, when a taxpayer owes a sum of money to the IRS, it's very tempting to run away or hide. The IRS is a frightening agency with the power to devastate people's financial lives. But that is a myth of days past, unless you do try to run away or hide. Today, the IRS practically bends over backwards to help taxpayers resolve their tax debts. They want to make it easy for the taxpayer to be compliant and to be a happy taxpayer. Hi, I'm Gary and welcome to TaxBulldog for the best thoughts and ideas for trimming your tax debt. Now, these videos should help you to help yourself avoid costly professional fees. If your situation has a level of complexity, then you may want to consult a tax professional. See my video on selecting a tax professional to represent you at this link. Now, these videos will at least give you an introduction of what to expect and to know when someone is just misleading you. Now, before I start, I have to make a few disclosures that are important. For purposes of brevity, I will list these in the description below, so be sure to read them as they do contain important information that you will need to know. Now, in these videos, I will make references to links and resources on the web. Often I'll display them on the screen and I'll put them in the description below. If the link is lengthy, I will just list it in the description below. So, to get down to this subject. In this video, I'm going to talk about hiding from or ignoring the IRS. I would recommend that you obtain our book, /IRS Back Taxes at this link. This will help you to follow along in this video series. In this video series, I'm going to follow along with the chapters of our book, excepting the introduction and chapter 1. I reverse those twos around. I'm calling this video chapter 3 to keep in line with the book. Now, this will be a relatively short chapter. We have seen some publications that discuss the possible merits of hiding from or ignoring the IRS. Don't do it. You may be able to stave off collection proceedings by moving around and so on, but eventually you'll run out of steam and they'll find you or they'll go after your estate. Now, the best decision to make is to stand tall, face the challenge, and fix the mess. It's not as difficult as you may think, and the IRS is more than willing to work with you. Now, in today's electronic world, the government can find you even if you think you are off the grid. A lot of surveillance cameras have facial recognition. In late 2017, a man was found whom the police were hunting in regard to his mother's death in a southern state. The man was spotted in Erie, Pennsylvania, just before heading into Canada. A surveillance camera spotted him and he was apprehended a short time later. So, as in the book, 1984 by George Orwell, Big Brother is watching. Everything you say or do is being recorded except for the privacy of your own home or public restrooms. And sometimes I have my doubts about those places being private. Now, because of the time and effort involved, you may be tempted to ignore the options and strategies available to you to make the best deal. But hiding from or ignoring the IRS is not the way to defeat it. Don't underestimate the possibility that someone may report you to the IRS. Under their whistleblower program, if someone suspects you aren't paying taxes, they can turn you in anonymously and possibly qualify for a reward from the IRS. All they would have to do is to fill out a Form 211, which is an application for award for original information. You would never know which one of your buddies turned you in. The IRS, both the institution and its employees, are database and research junkies. It's what they do. They can find out just about everything about you. The list is endless. Think of a time when you filled out a form, agreed to something, bought a car, got married or divorced, won a court case, bought an airline ticket. You're in a database somewhere. And you can assume they are lurking on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and other social media. One man made a move from one city and state to another. He bragged about it on Facebook to his friends that he was staying a step ahead of the IRS and evading paying them. The IRS saw it and quickly caught up with him. It doesn't matter when or where, if it's a private, municipal, county, state, federal, or even an international database, the IRS has access to it. The IRS will make a check of your driver's license, state corporation records, civil and criminal history, your international travel schedule, and many other records. IRS agents have been directed, according to new policy, to not only request reasonable documentation from taxpayers, and that any information must be secured at the earliest possible time, and with the least burden to the taxpayer. The offer and compromise cases are managed through the Automated Offer and Compromise AOIC system, a database that allows monitoring, tracking, and controlling of offer and compromises. And that's submitted to the IRS. Now, integrated with the AOIC are other databases and systems, including, but not restricted to, the IDRS, the Integrated Data Retrieval System, RTVUE, Return View, AMDIS, Automated Inventory Management Display System, an IRPTR, which is an Information Return Transcript Request, and various CFOL, Corporation Files Online, research sources. I know all these are mind-numbing and mind-boggling. You can expect that details of your life can and will become a fair target for the IRS, whether you procrastinate or are proactive about solving your problem. The latter choice will help you sleep better at night. If you try to hide, it's inevitable that they will find you. It may not happen quickly, perhaps it will take years, but it will happen. The reach of the IRS goes well beyond the borders of the United States and includes cooperative tax information exchange agreements with an increasing number of foreign governments. The General Accounting Office has completed a study that suggested they should be allowed to monitor those with passports by linking them to the Social Security number system, with the objective of making passport issuance conditional on individual taxpayer compliance. Now, if you choose to hide from or ignore the IRS, one or more of the following can happen. The IRS can compel employers and others who pay you to implement backup withholding on all payments. Your credit will be severely damaged. The IRS can lien, levy, seize, and sell your property and income, and can do the same to relatives or others who have fraudulently received those assets from you. If fraud is involved, your case becomes a criminal one. Now, these are good reasons why you should learn the best strategy for negotiating a settlement with the IRS and do it as soon as possible. Procrastination has a huge downside. Penalties and interest accrue at horrendous rates, and the longer you wait, the more difficult the problem will be to resolve. But if you approach the situation systematically and with a cool head, you can set yourself up in the best possible position to protect yourself before you start the settlement process. So in summary, hiding from or ignoring the IRS is a hazard because they have vast resources to find you, your income, and your assets. The resulting penalties, interest, and other consequences can be harsh. If you find that you have hid from or ignored the IRS, you can come forward and find help. Being proactive with the situation helps to solve the problem quicker and easier. But here are some resources, and I'll put these in the description below. TaxBulldog.com. This is my website with many articles, documents, forms, and other information in regards to dealing with tax collection and audit issues. I try to demystify things. /IRS Back Taxes book. This is a book that I wrote with my co-author, and it's available online at this link. Having this book will help you to follow along in this video series. The Tax Bulldog here on YouTube for helpful tax videos. And I'll put the link in the description below. The IRS on YouTube. This is a treasure trove of helpful videos for taxpayers. This is very good information, but do be aware these are brief and they do not give you all the insights and nuances on the topics. In the description below, I will list relative references to the Federal Internal Revenue Code, IRC, U.S. Treasury regulations, the Internal Revenue Manual, the IRM, and any policies and procedures that may apply. Now, these are not all-inclusive, as there may be circumstances where other laws, regulations, policies, and procedures, and court decisions may apply. So in closing, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it and you got some useful information and ideas from it, please give me a like and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. This is all I do, and I do it well. Please subscribe to see my future videos as I produce them. And be sure to hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on any new information. Please leave your comments below. I can answer general questions here, but for specifics, please contact me at TaxBulldog.com. Thank you.